Today is October 2nd, 2022, and this evening the Legalibus channel had a Q&A. During that Q&A at the very beginning, the people running it specifically asked that no one record the Q&A. They wanted to keep it private, so of course I went ahead and recorded it because fuck them, they don't tell me what to do. I do what I feel like doing, and if there's an issue with that, if there's some type of problem, they can look me up and take me to court. And then we can go ahead and handle that in the courtroom. And then we can explain the entire situation to the judge and see what they think about it. And if they don't want to go that route, if they rather come handle it personally, they can come look me up and we can handle it outside, because outside is a very big place. A lot of things can be handled outside. So there are very many ways to go about handling this particular situation if that's the route that they want to go. The reason why I say this is because they continue to ban people from the Telegram group for absolutely no reason at all. And they continue to spread lies and nonsense. So as long as that continues to go on, I'll continue doing what I'm doing. Anyways, here's the video. Have a good night.
Okay. That being because when you use the app, there's a button. It goes through your regular, regular speaker where you put your ear on. So you have to press again to put it on speaker mode for you to use the loudspeakers if you are not using headphones. So anyhow, none of what we're discussing tonight is legal advice or tax advice. Also, we do not authorize anyone to record our sessions and to publish any of our materials. We do make an attempt to remain in the private, and we also try to teach people to learn how to be in the private. So keep that in mind, guys. This is a private, even though it's open to our group, it's a private session, if you will. So please refrain from recording or and so forth. All right. So that being said, whenever we record our sessions, we make them available on our website. Only it's not usually we don't put it out there in the internet. Again, in the interest of privacy and also to protect the privacy of our members. So let's keep that in mind. With that being said, I'm going to give you maybe a quick rundown of our website, and then we're going to go to Q&As. I'm going to share my screen now. Alright, you guys should be able to see my screen. Alright, our website is legalibus.com. Again, legalibus.com. And this initiative is about breaking down different materials related to freedom. It means to achieve freedom, and breaking them down in an easy to learn format, in course format, so that we can follow more easily. And so our primary project has been to essentially put together, publish the materials that Chris Hauser teaches to help people learn in a better way, because the Telegram is just not a format that's suitable for learning. So that's really what this is about. There are many other courses that are in the works that have not been published yet. There are many other strategies that are being tested that we hope to report results soon. we'd like to focus on strategies and methods that have worked for many or have a reasonable chance of working. Okay, so that's the reason why in our Telegram channel and so forth, we don't spend too much time just chatting. I would like to keep things relatively quiet unless there's something important to discuss. So on our website, there are two main categories. You have the courses section, which will give you access to the courses. When you get to the course section, make sure you click on all courses so that you can view all the courses available. Right now, if someone is new on this call and you perhaps wonder where to start, I would say start with how to mail your stuff for free. It becomes very handy as you start to do paperwork and you find yourself mailing a lot of things, right? Then the next one will be probably hidden secrets of money. Have a good understanding of how the bank create money out of thin air, and that will set you on the path to now study how to pay your bills with coupon. And how to pay your bills with coupon, it's a pretty detailed course where we analyze different methods, and we also have some case studies of people who have achieved success, others who had partial success, but then it was reversed afterwards. We just laid out there, we interview some of those folks, and we just laid out there so you see what's happening, so you see what to expect, and so everybody can perfect their approach. Then you also have the 1099A process course by Chris Hauser, of course, and after that you have the conditional acceptance course. And that's the order in which you may want to study these courses. Now, I do want to emphasize one thing. Many people have watched Chris's videos, and when they come on the course, like let's say the 1099A course, they're like, oh, well, I already watched the videos, and they're like, oh, you've not done the course. I kid you not, that's not enough. Because after the videos, there's a section called Prepare Your 1099A Form, where there's text materials, right? The written materials. Usually if something needs to be updated, that would be the section where things will be updated, not the videos, because you can't really change the videos. So keep in mind that just watching Chris's videos is not enough. And also as things change in the process and new things come to light, of course, we're going to have to put it in the courses. So please stop being lazy and thinking that because you watch Chris's video that you're all set. This is a dynamic movement, and they expect that things may change, additional things may come into picture, and you would want to be updated when that happens. And so we find it more convenient to update in the courses directly. The second, under each course, you could see there's also a tab called Forum that will take you to the forum specifically designed for that course, so that you can ask questions and see also other questions and perhaps answer them as well. Then the second main section of the course is forums. The forums is to give us a sense of community. This is not a forum for the admins to answer all the questions. The admins can answer, but anybody can come in here and help out, right? So this is kind of a better format to be able to track different subjects, follow different topics. Let's say I click on here, you could look at what people are posting, you could search for whatever there, you could filter by, problems that have been solved or maybe questions that are not answered yet. You can search by keyword, let's say I want to search for mortgage. As you search, it gives you different results, and you can go straight to the post. And you can add a comment if you have a comment, or you can click answer if you're providing an answer. You can answer right there, and people gain points as they interact through the site. As you take the courses, you take the quizzes, and you interact in the forum, you get points that give you different levels in the platform, and that will come handy when we have some advanced materials or some bonus materials that will be reserved for those who are shown to be diligent and to have a certain experience. With that being said, under the forums, you also have a success stories forum where you're welcome to go there and submit your success story. And we have a Q&A with Christopher Hauser Forum, which is the subject of tonight's call. This is where we discuss all the Chris Hauser materials and Q&A with him. In the beginning, Chris Hauser was the one answering questions in the call, or Sunday night calls, but he had to be away for a little while as he's working with the Treasury to establish a few things. And then he'll be back with us hopefully in a few weeks. When he's back, he'll be the one answering your questions. But we always encourage you to post your question on the forum first, because that's always where we start when we answer questions. So that's in a nutshell what we're doing here. Obviously, on each topic, you can just hit the bell to be notified when something is updated, or you could bookmark it or save your favorites and whatnot. It's pretty handy. On top of that, we also have, for those of you who feel like you need to talk to someone, we have what's called quick question private consultation donation. If you want to book a time to discuss a particular situation, perhaps to brainstorm some possible solutions or strategies. The other initiative we have on this is called we have also what's called private. Now, everything that you've seen so far on the website is 100% free. There's no payment requirement, to access all of this. The only requirement is to register on the website, just because we don't want to put the content out there, right? It's a private, this is a private initiative, so of course it has to be kind of like, have a certain level of protection, so the content just don't go anywhere and so forth. So that's the idea of having to register. But there's another initiative we have called the Private Study Sessions with Donors. And this is an additional session that we conduct every other Friday night or Thursday night. And that is just an appreciation to those who are supporting us, because guess what, guys? It takes a lot to run this initiative and do what we're doing, even if you don't see it on the surface how things we're working on. But we appreciate those who donate. And by the way, if you want to donate to support this project, you can just go on the homepage and look at one-time donation or do a monthly subscription donation. That would help us a lot. Now, those who support us in appreciation, we conduct private study sessions where we introduce additional remedies and materials. And I think we're probably on our 10th session or so, if I remember correctly. But so far we've studied how to enforce the coupons with consumer laws, and we've also studied, right now we're currently studying how to discharge car loans using consumer laws. So that's kind of what we're studying in those sessions. But these are not materials that Chris Hauser teaches, but they're additional remedies that you could add to your strategies to get remedies sooner. So just wanted to clarify that. Don't ask me how you get into those sessions. The only requirement is to be a donor. That's all, to be in those sessions. I do encourage you guys to join our Telegram channel, which is t.me at Legalibus. I'm going to post it into the chat at some point, because that's where we send announcements. And we also have a chat that you can join if you want to have discussions and so forth. With that being said, I think I'm going to go ahead and see what questions we have on the platform right now. Let me set maybe how to pay bills and see if there's any recent question that was answered. Alright, this one doesn't have anything that's recent. Okay, let's go to 1099 process. Let's see if there's any recent question. Alright, we have a couple of questions here. Alright, so Bright is asking, dealership wants more. I have them letting me use a 1099A for a 2022 Chevrolet. And the price altogether $95,000 each He says, send me a copy of the form after the RS accepts. So I did today. He wants something that proves that the money is for sure coming. What do I do with that? Alright, Brett, you cannot prove that the money is in the trust. We've covered that over and over. Your best bet is they would have to file the paperwork if they want, and then wait for the money. Or you could just get Trustee to do that for you.
Hey Jay.
Yes.
We're getting a few more comments that your voice is low, and for me, your volume's okay, but you're not enunciating clearly enough. So if you could speak up and speak out, I think that would be helpful for people. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for doing that, because I cannot see the chat while I'm sharing my screen, so I did not know those comments were there. Is it any better for those anybody who cannot hear me okay? Is it any better right now?
Yeah, I haven't had a problem at all. I'm not clear on what people are hearing. I'm thinking that it may be their volume adjustment. From the time you started till now, it's exactly the same volume, everything. They should try turning up their volume on their computers so that they can hear you better.
Right. Is there anybody here that cannot hear me okay, that can speak up and tell me if it's any better?
I can hear you just fine.
All right. I guess I'll try. Be a little loud, I guess.
There are people saying that it is better. Another comment, just your monotone is low.
Oh,
and then another person with their volume at their max.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate you mentioning that. That helps me. Okay, I'll try, and then you're welcome to buzz me again if it still doesn't work. All right, I'm going to a question by Nelson. How would I know the check was received by the other party? How would I know? There isn't really a way to know. You just have to wait for them to notify you that the check arrived. That's pretty much it. Let's go to conditional acceptance and see what's there. Conditional acceptance, no signature card. I sent in my conditional my TA, but I got a certified mail return receipt 1. Mistakenly did not get the ones that need the wet signature. But the request return receipt was stamped by the postal service, and I did write the location it was being sent to, but it will show it was received. Will the request return receipt still surface due to it showing the receipt and the contract still arrive upon the postal it's delivered? I'm not really sure what the confusion is here, but if it was me, if I'm not able to get that return receipt signed, then I'll have to print the confirmation of delivery from the USPS website. The return receipt is better when it's signed, but if you really don't have that, then you have to go to the second best option, I would say. Okay, and then I'm going to go to the Q&A forum. Alright, so Jason is asking, purchasing a home with 1099A only to resell for $1. I have a friend that isn't from the States, but I feel bad for this person, and I'd love to buy him whatever house he wants out of pocket using my 1099A, but reselling it to him for $1 just to hand off the deed in his name. Should I do this? Just unfortunately, that's going to be up to you. I can only speak about how to use a 1099A, which is covered in the course, but I don't think I can answer that one. That would be up to you, but I just be careful with trust fraud, right? And try to stay in honor in everything you do. All right. Jacqueline is asking Form 56. I was looking through the Jarrett page on the 1099A and I noticed Form 56. After reading over it, I noticed they had Janet Yellen as the fiduciary. Is that correct? Also, how the trustee receive the funds, check, deposit, etc. Okay, Jacqueline, whatever you read on the Jarrett's website, I think you should direct that question to them. If you were following the instructions and how the trustee received the funds, I think it's discussed in our 1099A process course. You might want to read that and get a little bit more familiar with the whole thing. The next question is, in CH last video, did he tell us that there is a reason we are not having any success? Alright, I'm not going to read his whole paragraph. But Pamela, I think if you're asking if there's any reason why people are not receiving the money, I think we have been discussing that in the past several Q&As. So I'm going to summarize it for you. First of all, the Treasury Department dealing with this is not a standard. It's not the standard department that deals with income tax. Okay, and so there has been thousands of submissions, many of them not really proper, and some serious ones and some not so serious ones. So let alone that they were in short-staffed. So between them trying to have the resources to process these and try to screen through applications, I think it's understandable that there's a delay in processing. And so we're all just waiting for that processing to start moving forward. And once we have any update on that, you will know. Okay? So Cindy was asking, getting a 1099A for accident payment from homeowner. Subject A and Subject B get into an accident. Subject A incurs damages, Subject B is at fault. Subject B gives Subject A 1099A to cover the cost of damages. Is this income for Subject A? Does Subject B have any kind of tax implication arising from giving the 1099A as payment for damages? Does B have to report this anywhere? I'm Subject A and I want to know answers to any questions B might have when I ask them to use 1099A for payoff instead of their homeowner's insurance. I was injured on their property. So Cindy, I don't know why you wouldn't want their insurance to pay. It's unclear to me if they have insurance that can cover you, why you wouldn't want the insurance to pay. However, whoever receives the 1099A has to process the other forms and wait for the Treasury to issue payment. And in terms of whether it's going to be a tax event, I can't answer that. That depends on your relationship with the IRS. If you're a taxpayer, it really depends. So I don't think it's something that I can answer just vaguely on the phone like that, an open mind like that. Okay? I'll say ask your tax accountant. What else we have here? Trustee course is.
Okay.
Yes?
If you're open to it, I am a tax accountant. That's not a taxable event. If you're actually paying for damages that you created, to another person and that is coming into you, that is not taxable because it's not income. It is reimbursement for the event.
Thank you for clarifying. Thank you. Appreciate you contributing that. So, I don't know for Cindy, but hopefully you have your answer. Cindy, yeah? Let me see.
I have a question.
What is your? We're gonna get to Q&A in a moment, unless it's a question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, we're gonna get to a live Q&A in just in a moment. Okay, let me just see what else is here. Okay. All right, so I think I'm probably gonna move to Q&A. But let me just double check what's in the chat. All right, so I'm going to start a Q&A, guys. And if you have questions, you would have to...
Q&A session has started.
You just click the ask a question bubble to get in the queue. Or if you're on the phone, *6 to get on the queue. And we're going to get started with Q&A right now. All right, Scott, what's your question? Scott, you there? Scott.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, this is my question. If you take care of your mother, can you be her trustee and can she be your trustee? Then open up separate beneficiary bank accounts and get debit cards. File the 1099-A for such like a personal loan, pay back a personal loan, and then once it's been approved and the trustee receives the funds, can you then deposit it into the beneficiary bank account and use that account?
Okay, so first of all, I'm going to ask you, have you gone through the 1099 process now on our website?
Yes.
And have you watched all Chris's video that's in there?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't know why I'm not so convinced about your yes, to be honest with you. Because
okay.
if you go ahead.
I don't recall him saying anything about that or not, but I did notice that he mentioned, I was watching his videos earlier today, and I watched, as a matter of fact, while I was door dashing, I watched all the videos on your website that Chris had out over trust law and everything like that, and I don't recall him mentioning anything about that. That is why I asked the question.
I think in one of the videos he mentioned that you cannot pay out the money directly to a beneficiary. You didn't hear that? The risk of tax of trust fraud. You didn't hear that in any of the videos?
Okay, I just wanted to.
Because the way you ask your questions, to be honest with you, the way you have bundled your questions, it just doesn't sound like you actually went through the materials in a way that you understand them. That's what I'm asking, and I don't want to give answers that are not going to be helpful, because if your attitude is to just not go deeply, you're going to get yourself in trouble. You know what I mean? And I don't think that's where anyone wants to go. So I think if you study well, you would understand there are certain things you just don't do, such as you don't go and pay out the money directly to the beneficiary. You know what I mean? Unless the transaction is you completed all the transaction agreed upon, and there's only a little bit left over. At that point, that's what you could potentially give the beneficiary.
Well, that was what I was leading to, is in order to make a purchase of some sort.
Okay, so I'm not following you.
Okay, for example, let's say I wanted to buy a boat and I had the 1099 filed out and I made her my trustee and I fill out the form correctly for the boat, and then she files as trustee the 1090 or the 1096, 1099 OID, and the 1040V, and then she receives the funds. Then could she deposit that into the beneficiary account, and then she use the bank card or whatever to purchase the boat, a gas
Which
card.
beneficiary account? Who's the trustee in the transaction?
She would be my trustee and vice versa.
So she's your trustee, and then she received the money, and she deposited it in which beneficiary account?
My beneficiary account.
Well, didn't I just say you can't just take the money and put it in the beneficiary's account?
No, that was what I was wanting to know. That then how would you go about that with her dispersing the funds?
Well, she gets it in her account, and then she goes and purchases the boat and give you the boat. I mean, this is literally like, one-on-one questions that have been answered by Chris so many times. So I don't feel like you have spent enough time studying. I think you should study more before bringing this kind of question. You know what I mean?
Okay, I appreciate your honesty, and I thank you for your time.
And I'm not trying to be mean to you, but I know in our study group, we want to make sure that people, progress, right? And, there's no other way to get this right other than studying, right? There's no other way. And the whole reason why the treasury is jumped up is because people are doing all kinds of things without fully understanding. So, study well, take notes and everything, but no, you can't take, as far as Chris teaches, the trustee's not gonna take the money and put it in the beneficiary's account. The trustee has to put it in their own trustee's account. I'm not saying trust account, I say in the trustee's bank account. You know what I mean?
I understand. Thank you.
You're welcome. So keep studying, please, because you don't want to get in trouble with those things. Okay, so next is 548, the 540 number. What's your question?
Okay. Hi, Mr. J. It's Tiffany.
Hi, how are you?
It's very good. Yes, sir. Still sorry for my absence because my baby had just went to school this last month, so I've been just wrapped up in the school schedule. So yes, sir. I'm trying to get back on track with the meetings and everything.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch what you said at the beginning.
Oh, I was just saying sorry that I've been absent for the most part because my baby has went back to school and I'm wrapped up in the school schedule.
Okay, no
So
worries.
yes, sir.
So what's your question?
Yes, sir, Mr. J. Oh, yes, I was wondering if you and Mr. Chris were planning to teach us at some point about the reimbursement for our bank account, like for our expenses, like using the 1099 OID. I've heard a lot about it, but I don't know the process of it, so I just thought to ask if that will ever be taught.
There are a couple of ways that we're looking into, and maybe we'll post a couple of things on that, but yeah, we're looking to posting something on the website so that people can also experiment with it, but there are a couple of ways, yeah.
Okay, yes, sir. I just thought to ask you guys because, like, I see like bits and pieces about it, but I've never seen the whole layout or the process of it, and I don't want to do it the wrong way, So I just thought to ask you guys.
Well, the reality is that the Chris Hauser way would be the 1099, and getting the funds. And when you get the funds, the trustee pays the bills. That would be the Chris Hauser way. There are a couple of other ways that we're looking into. I think we might be able to post one soon. Another one we need a little bit more study and before we post that. But yes, it's possible. It's definitely possible.
Wow. Okay, yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. J.
You're welcome.
Nice to be back on.
Yes, welcome back. Okay. Next question is Mark.
Yes.
Yeah,
Hello?
what's your question?
I was wondering how we enforce these letters. PG&E actually responded and zeroed my account when I sent the validation of debt and the acceptance, conditional acceptance and dishonor. They finally sent me a credit of $80. I don't know if that'll continue, but it's quite weird. And then the credit card companies just keep ignoring me. They just ignore. I've sent 3 different times. I sent the coupon, I sent the 1099, I sent all the letters 3 times. And then the notary sent the dishonor letter. And they just ignore it. And they just keep building like nothing's happened. So what do we do to enforce the letters? Do we do a lien?
Okay, so have you done the conditional acceptance for the credit card?
Yes.
You said?
Yes, I've done it 3 times.
And you sound like by 3 times you mean with 3 different accounts?
No, 3 letters. 3 certified and registered letters.
Let's be very factual here, right? I'm talking about there's coupon letter. Coupon letter is not the same as conditional acceptance. So we have to be very clear in what we're talking about, right? So if you're sending a coupon with a letter, that's one thing. When they ignore it, right, the next step is the conditional acceptance, which is a bigger and longer and heavier document. Have you done that part?
Yes, and I sent, before I did the validation of debt, I did the coupon, and then I did the 1099, and then I sent the validation of debt, and then I sent the conditional acceptance, and then I sent the non-response and dishonor letter. And then I did it 2 more times. And they've still just ignored it. Completely ignored it.
I understand, but let me ask you, what did you conditionally accept in one of those credit card examples?
I did Chris Hauser's letter. I just did the letter.
What did you conditionally accept?
That they zero the account. I put everything he put in that letter. I conditionally accepted, I'd have to pull my letter out, but I just did the letter, and they haven't called me. I haven't talked to them.
That's why that's part of why it's not fully working, because you have to understand what you're doing, right? It's not just a matter of sending a letter. I know you work on that, and I commend you for the work you've put in so far. But you gotta tie some loose ends here, right? When I say, what did you conditionally accept, you should know the answer to that. And I get it. Well, we're studying, it takes a while to wrap our hands around it, but, it's only through challenge that we realize what parts we still need to improve upon, right? So if I ask you, what did you conditionally accept, you gotta be able to answer that without even looking at your letter, because if you know what you're doing, then you would know why you are sending a conditional acceptance. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well.
So what is a conditional acceptance? What's your understanding of what it is? Just in a couple of sentences,
I'm pulling out my letters again.
But tell me, I know you put in your letter, but tell me, what is your understanding of what a conditional acceptance is? Hint. I'll give you a hint, okay?
Okay.
The actual words in conditional acceptance, what do they mean? Are you with me?
Yes, I'm with you. I should have gone over my letters again in my mind so I could remember.
Even if you go into your mind, it's not going to change anything. You got to understand the concept first. It's not the letter. It's knowing why you're doing what you're doing. You know, many people fail because they take templates and they use it and they don't understand why they're doing what they're doing. And that's why at some point we reach a roadblock where we don't know how to finish the process. So
Okay, what is a conditional acceptance then? Can you tell me?
okay, I'm glad you asked. So condition, there are two words in there, right? Conditional and acceptance, right? So we are accepting something, right? But under certain conditions, right?
Right.
So what are we accepting?
Their offer.
Uh-huh. So I'm asking you, what did you conditionally accept? So what exactly did you got to be able to tell me what offer you were conditionally accepting. So what is it, what offer were you conditionally accepting?
I was conditionally accepting their offer of the coupon, how much they were taking from the SSUK,
Well,
and
how can you conditionally accept that? Did they tell you that they were taking something from the SSUK trust? Or they asked you for the coupon? You're the one who sent the coupon.
yes, they sent the coupon, and
Okay.
I accepted that offer, and they didn't accept my offer. They took the coupon, but they didn't zero their account.
Okay, so they made you a counter offer, right?
Well, they didn't respond.
Okay. Well, their offer was refusal to take your coupon, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is one I think we really need to do some more courses on this thing, because I don't think many people understand how to do this. So what did you put in your conditional acceptance that the reason the offer you were accepting conditionally? Did you actually do that?
Oh yeah, I did the whole letter.
No, it's not about the whole letter. It's you gotta give a reason, right? I mean, if I send, okay, let me ask you this. Your name is Mar?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so Mar, say I send you a letter, a conditional acceptance letter right now. You receive it, you read it, right? What am I conditionally accepting from you? Is that going to make sense to you if you don't know?
You're conditionally accepting my offer of the coupon for that amount that I wrote out on the coupon.
Okay, so that's what you conditionally accepted?
Yes.
Okay, and is that what you put in your letter?
Yes.
That I am conditionally accepting your coupon? Is that what you said? Something along those lines?
Yes.
Okay, so now we can move forward. Okay, so when you did that conditional acceptance, do I understand that you did a notary presentment?
On the notary presentment? No.
Did you do a notary presentment?
Yes, the notary sent a presentment.
Okay, so that's a good,
Of
that's
yes, honor and non-response. Yeah.
okay, that's a good way to do it. How did you know to do a presentment versus just sending it yourself?
Because it was in the lesson.
Okay. Okay, good. All right, so you sent them the conditional acceptance, and now they are not doing anything, right? So my question to you is, and the normal question is, and I'm hoping those who are listening, this is for everybody. This is not just for Mar. I'm just using this opportunity to enlighten all of us, so that some of you who have similar questions, hopefully that helps a little bit. So Mar, let me ask you, in your conditional acceptance, you probably tell them, hey, I conditionally accepted such and such offer that that offer from them, right? Provided you meet such and such condition, right? And
Right.
but if you fail to meet those conditions, then here is my remedy, right? So what did you say you would do in your conditional acceptance if they did not meet those conditions?
Well, there would be a $9,000 lien that I would
9,000?
be, that I would be able
For
to.
which company?
This was for credit cards, two
Okay.
different credit card companies.
Okay, what was the balance in one of those cards, roughly?
It was probably 600.
Okay. So, and then you said you would put a $9,000 in.
If they didn't respond, yeah.
Okay.
But,
So,
yeah.
okay. And so if that's what you said you would do and they fail to respond, then that's what your next steps is. See, it's very
So we do what you.
No, you don't touch UCCs. You don't touch UCCs. Chris said that that's what got him in trouble, so you don't want to do that. But you could do a claim. You could do a claim of lien, right?
A claim of lien. Okay.
Yeah, a claim of lien, and then after that, you do a treasury contract to assign it to the treasury to collect.
Oh,
That's-
assign to.
So that's your next step. So again, it's the reason why this question cannot be answered just without knowing what you've done is because I don't know what is in your document or what's in people's document, right? And so if I say, oh, you do this, you do that, well, I don't even know if the document is written in a way to allow you to do that. You know what I mean? So I'm just giving you general guidelines here based on what Chris teaches, right? That if someone does a proper conditional acceptance, then the next step would be the claim of liens and then the treasury contract. But I cannot say that everybody has the right conditional acceptance that is written in a way to give rise to those. That has to be looked at, right? Because if you do it incorrectly, and when I say you, anybody, I'm not just talking to you, Mark, then guess what? You're going to be sued and you're going to have some serious issues.
Okay.
That's just as simple as that. Because they're going to break through the contract, So ultimately, how many days did you give them to answer in your condition?
I gave them 10 days.
Okay, so normally, you would want to give a finite amount of time for them to respond, and you would have also your enforcement, the remedy in there, so that if they fail to respond, and that's expected, by the way, that's expected. It's only a few cases they would do the right thing.
PG&E did the right thing.
What's
I
that?
was surprised. PG&E did the right thing.
Who did the right thing?
PG&E,
What's PG&E?
Pacific Gas and Electric.
Yeah, but guess what? How much was the amount in question?
Well, they credited me. They just have an ongoing credit on my account now.
Okay, explain to me okay, so you sent them the conditional acceptance. How long ago?
It's been over 30 days.
Okay,
But-
and then you said they credit $80 on your account, right?
Well, it's a continuing credit.
Okay, so they issue continuing credit?
Yeah.
How do you know it's continuing?
Because I put it up on the chat board. I put what they sent me, and every time I get a bill, they minus it out, and then they credit me more.
Well, that's great because that would be a success story actually if that's the
Yeah.
case. I want to see that later. What did you send it on the Legalibus chat or
Yes, I put it on the chat right here on the chat going on now.
Okay, so if you you mean here? No, can you put it on Telegram or not?
On Telegram. I think I did already, but yeah, I can do it again.
So if you can do that again on Telegram, because I want to take a look at that particular. There are a lot of things going on there, so I don't always. Oh yeah, I see what you put here. But So I want to take a look at what you just sent me and see what you talk about. Because if they give you an ongoing credit, then that's good. That's success. But I wanted to make sure that you have seen at least 2 billing cycles, and that at the end of the month they zero your account and or something. I mean, tell me if you have seen 2 billing cycles and what happened in your bill.
Well, each bill they minus out the amount. I've gone through 2 now, and then they put more credit. It just ends up more credit.
Okay, so that's great. Are you on our Telegram, by the way?
I'm on Telegram, yes, I am.
All right, why don't you do this? Email that to us, because I want to see, and then I will have follow-up questions for you. And then if everything is sound, then we can post it as at least a success story, so people can also learn how that's done. But that sounds like that is expected. But again, I want to read what you've done, and then I'll be able to maybe I'll give you a call later on. Can you do that? Can you send by email?
The letters I wrote were just straight from Christopher's letters, but I changed all the names, of course, to the whatever company, and and used the CEO and the CFO's names. I did exactly his letters, and I did it 3 times, and then all of a sudden I started getting credit on my account.
All right.
But
can you
send? Are not doing that.
I know we're going to talk about a credit card in a minute. Can you send it by email, please? That's probably the better way.
Okay. Do I have your email? Is it?
Did you not receive any email from us?
I don't think I did. No.
You're not on our website?
I am. On Legalibus.
Yes, Legalibus.
Yes, I'm on there.
So if you on there, you shall receive our email. I was going to say just reply to any email you got from us, or just go to the website and contact us and then submit that. I want to take a look at what you received from them, and I'll give you a buzz to have a better understanding of where everything is at before I can call it fully a success story. But that would be what is expected. They didn't
send me any letters. They sent me nothing. All they did was start crediting my account.
And then the next month you use up gas. How much was your usage, for example, the next month?
$36, and then all of a sudden they have minus 80.
They have minus 80, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
so they took off 36, but they're still minus 80.
Okay, so I'll take a look, and then that'll be much more clear. But that would sound like a remedy there.
Yeah.
So we'll talk more about that once you send the email. Now about the credit card, there are many reasons why sometimes you don't do it, right? So sometimes they are too big to care. Sometimes they don't believe we're gonna follow through, and so forth. Are you in our private study sessions at all?
Prime study?
Are you in our private study sessions?
No, I'm not.
Okay,
so I can't afford it.
Okay, so all right. So the next step would be usually to enforce whatever you said in your conditional acceptance, right? That's very important because we just don't go in.
That's what I'm asking. How you enforce it, but you said claim of liens.
Yeah, claim of liens, and follow. Yeah, you're signing into your treasury contract, and that's something we're going to release the course on that. We haven't really released the course yet.
Oh, you are. Okay.
So we are going to release that.
Okay.
So, and then you do an assignment, that way, and you wait for the treasury to collect. Okay. The problem is we don't know how long that's going to take. That's the reason why we also introduce consumer laws via our private study sessions to give people
Are there letters regarding claim of liens and assignment to the treasury? Are there any letters showing that? How to do that?
Well, you could certainly look at Chris' video on that, but yeah, there are a couple of documents that you have to take a look. There are two Chris videos on that, so that should get you started. But we'll put it together in the course. And so and then the other way that we've been showing people is how to also leverage consumer laws to potentially get your remedy a little faster. And that has been one avenue that we've covered pretty much end to end with coupon. How do you enforce it with consumer laws if you are doing BDR dispute? And so we covered that. Right now we're studying how to discharge carbon as well using consumer laws. So that's another path that you could do in parallel to the Chris Hauser way.
And that's in the private groups?
Yeah, that's in the private study session. Yeah, if you are just send an email requesting information about that if you don't know. But there's a link in our Telegram channel about information about that. But again, those who are on our website automatically receives notification. Our next private session will be this coming week. So that being said, someone posted the Telegram channel link there, so in the chat as well. So those are two potential ways to look at it. All right.
Okay, that gives me a hint.
All right, but definitely keep that work going. At least you really put in the work. How many pages was your conditional acceptance?
Let's see. 4 pages.
How many?
4.
Oh, okay. So do me a favor. If you are able to send it along with the gas letter, that would be helpful because then I can look at the whole picture and then I'll follow up.
Send what I sent to them?
Yes, your conditional acceptance, yes, with the gas layer. That will help me to see the whole picture before I contact you and ask any questions.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next question. Marty, what's your question?
Yeah, how you doing? Well, what I was asking was I had sent you something so I could study. You know, I had started with your and I can't get in to study, so that's what I'm concerned about.
I'm sorry, I'm not following you. What's your question again?
My question is, your website, it won't let me in where I can get in and study because of my password. So I sent you an email in order to get in and start studying.
Yeah, just click on, wherever you log in, just click on reset password. Okay, or you click on forgot password, then it's going to open a page, and in there you click that you want to reset your password, and it's going to reset it for you.
Okay.
Alright?
Alright, thank you.
You're welcome. Next question. Scott, what's your question?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, hey, okay. I sent in the remittance letter with the coupon last week. They received it, I think, last Thursday. But I continued to use my credit card. So does that mean I'm going to have to do another one when the next statement comes in?
You send in your coupon, yeah, and you continue to use your credit card. I'm not sure I see the issue there.
Well, I sent it in, and the letter, it was Hauser's letter that I used.
Okay.
And it said, you agreed to accept this coupon as a statement balance or to credit my entire...
Okay. You understand what you're saying, but so your question is whether you can continue using the credit card? Is that your question?
No, it's not the question. That's not my question. I did that. Okay. So I'm continuing to use it now, so they haven't stopped it. So I take it, I'm waiting for them to respond or to stop my card or the spending privileges. Because the conditional the coupon was like 37,000 and change. And I spent like 4,000 or 5,000 more. So when the new statement comes, can I just send in the same letter with the new?
I mean, if they have not honored have they honored your coupon?
No, because it's been, let's say 35, 4 or 5 days since the CEO received it.
Okay, so chances are they're going to restrict your account probably.
Right.
I mean, what do you think your next step is if you don't honor your coupon?
It would be the conditional acceptance, but I'm going to need to research the conditional acceptance. I've listened to all of Hauser's videos. It's just when he puts up the conditional acceptance in his camera, and I try to take screenshots, I can't read it. I'm going to need like copies of it. You have that?
Are you on our website?
Yes.
Have you gone to the conditional acceptance course there?
I just started going to your website actually last week. So I'm going to be starting the coupon and then the conditional acceptance course.
Okay. Well, the account is there for you to download. So not templates, that samples conditional acceptance that you can download.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Yes,
So
sir.
I will get started on that. I don't have to wait. Okay. If you give them a certain number of days or whatnot, I'll get started on that. But if you knew how to also leverage the consumer laws, you probably would you will be able to position yourself also a little better, because when you use a linear dispute, you're able to put your account in a do not pay, do not collect status, and if they violate that, that's a straight consumer violation that you can get paid for. So, but
I'm glad you mentioned that. When Chris mentions on all his videos, if you don't.
This is not something Chris teaches, though.
Oh, it does. Okay. Well, he always mentions something about that's like trust fraud. Are you sure you want to do that? If the person or the company does trust fraud, the remedy is not the court, right? It's the conditional acceptance.
Well, your conditional acceptance is your attempt to get your remedy, right? So,
right.
But ultimately, you have to enforce. Your remedy is always in the enforcement,
right?
Because usually they know what we do. So,
right. Okay.
And Chris Way is out of court, because so that gives you an opportunity to do all that in the private.
Right. Okay. All right. Awesome. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So next question. 5913 number. What's your question?
How's it going, man?
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. So the first question that I have is, I can't get into the Legalibus.com. It says it's malware on my computer or on my phone, and it won't let me in. So I'm sure that question's been answered before. So I'll just, if there's a remedy to it.
Are you sure that it says malware?
Yeah, like I'll just so when I click on it, it says warning dangerous malware, and it won't let me go through.
That's strange, because what browser are you using?
Just my iPhone.
On your iPhone?
Yep.
Are you sure you're clicking the right link? What link are you using?
It's just the one that's the Legalibus.com.
I'm not so sure if you have the right one, because does anybody have that? My iPhone doesn't show malware unless you're clicking the wrong link. Can you spell what you're entering on your iPhone?
I'm just looking at the Telegram right now, and I'm just going through the Telegram feed, and I've hit like 6 of them, and it does the same thing.
You mean on the what feed are you looking at? You mean the
Legalibus.com channel, 1,612 subscribers.
Okay.
And I'm just going.
Yeah, but why don't you just type legalibus.com on your browser on your iPhone? Just type it manually to see what happens.
Yeah, it does the same thing.
Does anybody also have that issue? Other people are saying they have no issue. So can you click from the link that someone posted on the chat right now?
Yeah, I'll go back to it. Hang on.
Or you copy from there or something.
I mean, I've been trying to do this for like almost, probably at least 2-3 weeks, and it says the same thing every time.
Yeah, but is there something special about your phone? Is there something that you've done to your phone?
No, I have not done anything to my phone, and it's brand new, so I don't know. So when I just refreshed, went back to the Telegram. Yeah, just right here. Legalibus.com, Q&A, Christopher Hauser, not available this Sunday, time October 2nd. Yeah, and then Legalibus, and it does the same thing. Warning, dangerous malware, and then there's like a message below it.
Oh, well, I guess you might have to. I've had some similar issues. So, Don, what was your solution? Don said he had some similar issue. What was your solution to the problem? Can you unmute?
What do you mean?
Well, I don't know if Don can unmute actually, because we're in Q&A mode. So Don, if you can jump on the queue, and I'll. Okay, I'm gonna unmute you. Okay. Hold on. Good question. All right, Don, go ahead.
All right, so I had a somewhat similar issue. Basically, when I first made my account, I ended up switching phones. So I had an account, and then when I switched phones and tried to log in, it was saying that the account didn't exist. But at this point, I'm already being, billed the monthly fee. So what I had to do was actually recreate my account and verify my email. I'm not sure if you already verified your email.
I don't think it's even there yet. He's saying that his browsers warns that it's a malware. But,
okay.
So I don't think he's even there yet, right?
So he can't even pull up the website?
As of now, he says it warns him of the malware. So I would just say, try in a different browser and see if you have the issue. But otherwise, you might have to just tell your iPhone that it's not a malware and proceed, because it's a little odd. The gentleman that was on earlier. All right. Okay, so I'm going to go to the next question. Hello?
Jay, hello?
Hi.
Hey, what's going on, Jay? Thanks for taking the call. I think you answered one of my questions earlier, and that was for the classes. I know that you mentioned that you are going to open up the how to engage the Treasury after you have done the process of the conditional acceptance. But the other flip side to that I was also interested in is the trustee class too. I think you guys were going to open up and teach us how to be the trustees too, so that there's more folks that could tap into us as trustees, and so that we can start that relationship and trying to do the remedy for folks to get their money through the trustee and such like that in the Treasury. Is that in the mix? Is that in place?
Yeah, that's in the works. Yeah, not finished yet though.
Do you have a definite date, or is it still up in the air?
No date. It's up in the air. No date yet. No foresight in regards to that, maybe for the new year or anything like that. No, we can't put a date on it. But again, so that's why we tell if anybody is in a rush, you can click on contact us and request a private consultation on the trustee process. That's what we've been doing for those who cannot wait for the course, and then because they need that information sooner. But we don't have an exact date on that right now, and I wouldn't even try, because then I don't want to be held to a particular date because I said one thing. You know what I mean?
Okay, so it's coming across to me as if you want it sooner, then we'll have to tap into a private session, so that now that kind of guidance to move towards a trustee position is available, but that's under the umbrella of a private session. Is that correct?
It's called private consultation. Those who are not able to wait for the course and want the information sooner, we've been able to accommodate showing them all that they need to do via private one-on-one consultation. And
that is, and Jay, is that for during that process of becoming trustee until that is complete? Once you become a trustee, then we now we can engage some of the clients and others to trust as the trustee. Is that correct?
Well, that's through private one-on-one consultation, we can show you how the process works for the trustee. Basically, yeah. And then so at the conclusion of that, but it worked to your advantage to still go through the course, the 1099A course first, though, because in an hour consultation, if you want to get the most of it, then the more you know, then the better. Then we're gonna be able to show you the process and answer some of the questions, and hopefully from there you should be able to handle transactions as a trustee.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. Sure, that knowledge is key. Something as that as trustee, which is very important. You want to make sure that you're well informed as you move forward in that kind of position, because it is a very responsible position that is bestowed that trust as trustee of others and the process and things like that. So yeah. That makes sense. But I'm still a little bit cloudy in regards to the and maybe you can help me out to understand, is the position or the studies that are about to engage in the dealing with the trustee. Why has there been such well, I'm not sure if it's an impediment, but it has been kind of just set aside or on a shelf without it coming forth for us to fruitfully take of it. But what's the deal with that? It's
very simple. It's very simple. You guys enjoy free content. Someone has to sit down and write all the materials. Look at do you know what it took to put this website together, to put these courses together, let alone the other materials that we haven't published yet, let alone managing the Telegram and the hundreds of emails and everything. You guys know what it takes? Yeah, it takes time. But people sit here and they just want free. We're gonna get to it when we get to it. As simple as that. We have limited resources, right? And there's just so much we can do with limited resources. You see what I'm saying? So that's the hold up, partially.
Yeah, no doubt. There's no doubt that nothing that's worth it is not become easy, and what you are, bestowing upon us, the public and others that are engaged, is something that's very beneficial, and again, it is it's something that it's just not.
It takes time to sit down and write a detailed course that will go through every aspect of it. It takes a lot of hours. It takes a lot of time. That's kind of part of the issue.
Oh, well, if again, since it's for us, I think it is our responsibility as the students and people that are involved to also offer how we can come together with you and the website, how to move that forward, so that that we all benefit, all of us benefit from it. But
that people can do to support the project that we have. You know what I mean? So the only issue is, I don't know, the majority of people don't seem to, care about supporting. We want free, and that's it. And
Yeah, but I think differently like that. I realize that not everyone thinks that way, but again, it's important. It's our responsibility too. You guys all throw it out there, but it's our responsibility to take care of it too and do our part. If we all did our part, then it might be a little bit easier for you guys there as admins. Yeah, that makes sense. For me, but okay. So I'll engage. I will engage on occasion with you and move forward and so just thank you. If I could be of help, let me know. And thank you again, Jay.
Any way you can support is welcome, and then you could also support us with prayers as well. Because it's a battle. So
yes, but the victory is really in to get there. And that's that connection. That it's hard. Yeah, the battle's hard, man. It's there, but nothing that's worth in this life will come easy to us, and that this is what you have before you, Jay, no doubt. And I feel for you. Like I said, if I can help, maybe in a private session, let me see what I can do. As things are, I think you would agree that it's just out there. There's a force out there in society right now in America, and to us, it's tough. A lot of angry people, and everyone wants to get up there, and
on a separate note, I want to make sure people understand. We're not withholding. It's not that we're withholding information. Anybody, I give you the solution. Watch all Chris's videos, including all Q&As, a couple of times. Take notes, and likely you're gonna have a pretty decent idea of what needs to happen for a trustee. So it's still an investment. No matter how you look at it, it's an investment of time. So if anybody wants that information sooner and they're not comfortable with, having a consultation, because we take donations for the consultations, but then just, study, watch all Chris's Q&A, and so forth, and then hopefully someone will be in good shape. All right.
Well, that makes sense, but I think that you can watch it and watch it and watch it, but it's also that implementation of that in classroom session, and also that as you mentioned, a personal session may push that person over the horizon,
So hopefully in time we'll be able to have that out, but it's just that sometimes it's not very encouraging when many people don't have their head in the right place, right? For example, there are a couple of people who were like, well, you know what, I'm not donating anything anymore until Chris comes back. I'm like, so you think we're wasting time here? Why am I on the call with you guys tonight anyway? We could just shut down the call and wait for Chris to come back, or we could just shut down the site and see if we're all better off. See, when people have that shows their heart is not at the right place. It's like, for me, if I see a project that benefits me, I'm going to support it. I'm going to make donations. I'm going to support it, just at the minimum out of the goodness of my heart, right? At best, because I want it to continue. But people just have their mind in the wrong place. They think they are buying something, so that it's not really even giving per se. Then they'll say, Chris is not there, whatever, I'm not donating on, he's not there. That kind of stuff, it makes me wonder if, is it even worth trying to save it, to free everybody, Because initially, my mindset is, let's put it out there. Let's take all these processes that people are trying to charge, tons of money, and let's just give it to the people. Let's free the people, right? But the more I see how people are responding even to what we have, the more I'm like, is everybody actually ready to be free, and they don't even have the attitude that would help, or are they going to be reckless? So I think there's a certain amount of information that is okay to just release to everyone, but I think there's a level of achieving some of these processes that I think require some screening less people are going to put a big mess and jeopardize it for everybody else. So anyhow, we'll see. I mean, we have a commitment to get that course out there, but hopefully we get to it sooner than later. That's really the best I can say now. But just keep praying for us, pray for Chris as well, and those who feel like supporting. We thank you for your support. We appreciate it. Those who feel like they're just there to hear Chris's voice as opposed to studying, well, nothing we can do about it. We're all free beings. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I think you said something that's key there is that, a lot of folks are focusing in on Chris, and Chris has his own life. And so we have to take responsibility of our own lives and get involved, because that's what's probably putting a great deal of strain on Mr. Hauser himself, and so I hear where you're coming from. But it is a business too, you have to, I understand that we have to render what is Caesar to Caesar, but it is a business, and you want to keep, things going in that perspective. So people have to understand that, it's just not a handout, but it's also a business that
we are actually at the core of ministry. So, I guess, anything we're doing is to we hope to be able to grow what we're doing, right? Because I think sometimes things are confusing out there, and we're hoping to have a place where when people read, there's a sense of transparency, there's a sense of reliability in what's being taught and so forth, because there's so much confusion. So, hey, whatever happens, we'll see. Let's just keep moving. We have to get to a few other callers though. So, but thank you for bringing up your question, and just stay in touch.
Well, yes. No, actually, I should be the one thanking you, because you, there at Legalibus, is a lighthouse in the storm of life now, and it is really bad out here. And so to have this to help others, with the remedies that is available to us, and not only given freely through Chris and his studies, but for you guys to be there trying to make it happen. I think it's us, the people, reaching out to you and saying, thank you, Jay. Good night.
All right, good night. I'm going to go to the next one. All right.
Hello?
Hi, what's your question?
Hi. I have my question is, and thank you for answering my call. My question is it best to get your birth certificate? I haven't started the 1099 A process yet, but that's what I'm headed to. Is it best to get your birth certificate authenticated by state and federal first before starting?
With it. Whatever Chris Hauser teaches does not require any of that. If you choose to do it, let it be for whatever reason you choose to do it, but it doesn't require it for what Chris Hauser teaches.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know. Thank you so much for answering my call.
All right. Next one is...
Hey, good afternoon, Jay. How are you? Oh, good evening.
So what's your question?
Yeah, my quick question is, I've watched the coupon videos. I haven't watched everything, so let me just preface that. So just in case I might miss something. My question is, let's say I have a bill, whether it's a medical bill, and based on Chris Hauser's letter that goes with when you send out that coupon, it seems like he's saying that the company has been double dipping because you've been paying on the account and they've been double dipping, and it's trust fraud. Now, what if you haven't been paying on the account? It's just like a fresh bill and you have no payments. Can you still use that coupon method on it?
Of course you could use a coupon. I think you probably want to really understand more the fundamentals of what is happening here. Do you understand that there's no money of substance at all?
Yes, because of HR 1933. Yeah, I understand that.
Okay, so there's no ability to pay anything.
Gotcha. I was just double checking.
If there's no ability to pay, then you can only,
discharge.
Yeah, set up.
Right. Got that. All right. Next question. We're on the website because I heard someone you telling another client about enforcing the contract. Because in my experience and what I do, usually you have to what I do is usually sue in small claims court. Where he says Chris' method is basically enforcement through the Treasury. Where on the website can I find that?
On our website, you mean?
Yes, on the Legalibus. Yeah, where do
we haven't released the contract with the Treasury course yet. So when we release it, you'll be able to find it.
Cause that's the key. Cause like enforcing, I think for like a utility bill it's probably easier, but like a credit card, you're gonna have to enforce. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Oh, so you haven't released it yet? Okay.
No, the enforcement to the Treasury hasn't been released yet.
Let me ask you this: can I request private consultation for that?
I guess you could also submit a request and we'll evaluate the request and see.
Okay, that makes sense. I understand. All right, that's all I needed to know. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Let me see. Who's the next on the line? Hello, Legacy Wealth. What's your question?
Hey, how are you first and foremost?
All right.
As always, appreciate you and everything you do. I actually don't have a question, just it's interesting, something happened to me. I sent the coupon to my insurance company, and I got a call from the insurance company saying that I had a complaint filed. And I said, no, I don't have a complaint filed. There's a coupon that was sent in to you for your process. And then she said, oh, okay, well, that'll go through the billing department and be corrected in time. So I said, okay, thank you. It was just funny, but I'm just waiting. I'm waiting I did receive back the green slips from the signatures from the different places I did send the coupon to. So I'm taking it one step at a time. And I share that only because what I'm finding when I'm listening to some of the people as they're asking questions, what I'm hearing is that people aren't really taking the steps, one step at a time. As you do the step, document your step, document when you did it, document specifically what you said, so that when they're getting on here, they're asking a clear, clean, concise question and not all over the place. And you can tell when people aren't documenting because they tend to seem like they're all over the place versus being clear as to what they're doing. And I 100% agree with you that if you don't have a clear understanding of what you're doing, don't do it. Because you're going to end up injuring yourself. Earlier the person was talking about being a trustee, but the question is, do you even have a trustee account set up? Because you can't commingle funds, so you don't want that coming into your personal everyday account. That needs to come into a trustee account. And if you don't have a trustee account set up, then you shouldn't be asking whether you can be a trustee. So there are other steps that precede the whole trusteeship piece. Now, I'm not sure how Chris Hauser communicates this in regards to being a trustee, but I wouldn't see you being able to not have already gone through the process of doing a declaration of status and all your stuff in order to even be a trustee.
Well, the thing though is Chris teaches clearly that you don't need a status correction to do what he teaches, so that's the difference though. So if someone wants to do it, they can, but the way Chris goes about it doesn't require status correction.
So when it comes to the trusteeship fee, you can have that coming into a regular bank account?
That's not what I'm saying. Technically you can, but is it advisable? Probably not, and that's all part of what has to be covered in the course. all the things around the trusteeship, right? But in terms of status, Chris never did a correction of status. He doesn't think it's needed because you said you are who you are. You are a living man. You're never in the all caps name. So, you just have to basically assert your status. When I say assert your status, I mean assert who you are as a beneficiary. So that's his approach.
Okay, interesting. I would love to have an offline conversation with you to see how what I've already done prior might fit into what you guys have already done. I've studied mostly all of your courses. I've done this stuff since 2017. I'm the one that talked to you about having a 5-star passport, but I did certain things preceding to make sure that I was in proper status in order to have my trust account so that I can be a trustee. So, I would love to have an offline because this may be above other people's.
Yeah, just send a note or reach out to them or something, and then we could potentially look at that. But send a note about what you want to talk about and what you've done, and then we'll look into that. But yeah, you don't want to mix things. There are different strategies out there. You don't want to mix things. You want to know what you're doing and why you're doing what you're doing,
Exactly.
And not start in one track and end up in a different track. All right?
Love to. And then the other thing is, when it comes down to this whole support piece, people are asking for a lot, but I would really love to know how many people are really donating. If you're not donating into the site, you can't expect for this stuff to come to fruition quickly. We have to take the time out. I'll put it like this. I'm an accountant by trade, so I always work with people. And one of the things that I see is that we don't take the time out to support the things that support us. But we'll go get our hair done, we'll go get our nails done, we'll go on vacation, we'll do all these things. And that's wonderful, but if you really want this information, everyone needs to donate something, whatever you can, whether it's $5, $10, whatever it is. But it would be awesome if everybody began to really pour into the site so that the administrators can have the free available time and the resources to get everything that we're really looking for. So I appreciate you, and once again, I'll email you and I'll see how we can help, even from the administrative standpoint, if everything aligns properly. So I appreciate
all right, thank you for your kind words as well. We just keep going to the best we can with whatever we have. So 5913, what's your question?
All right, so I guess I got cut off earlier, but so my question was also about the trust, being a trustee. Like if it had to be like any kind of special requirements, and that was the biggest thing, because theoretically speaking, the first dude said that he was going to make his wife his trustee. So I mean, is that okay? Can we do that, or
no? Chris is very clear. It cannot be your spouse. As simple as it's cannot be your spouse.
Oh, wait a minute. Does that mean like just if you're married?
Well, we talk about spouse assumes married, right?
Yeah, but like what I'm saying is like, what if like I wasn't married to? So she actually wasn't my wife. She's my girlfriend.
Well, I'm talking about spouse, so you go figure what makes sense to you. If two people are married and have a married through the state with a marriage license, no, can't do that.
Let's see.
Okay.
And as far as that consultation goes, to learn how to be a trustee, we can send you an email.
You click on contact us on the website and you request a consultation.
Listen, I can't get on the website, man. I told you that.
You mean from your iPhone?
Yeah, I tried to get onto my laptop too, and it wouldn't let me.
It wouldn't let you on your laptop?
It's just a Chromebook.
What issue do you have on your laptop?
Hang on. Oh, and the final question I had was, when I get onto the Legalibus, is there a W-4 section on there?
For what?
W-4 sandwich.
No, we don't have a course on that yet. Still waiting to see some how it plays out. Some people have requested that, but I need to see a few successes and a couple of things before we put something there.
All right, that's all I got. Thank you.
All right. Crystal, what's your question?
Hi, Jay. Thanks so much. So I saw that Chris Hauser had answered a question regarding beneficiary signature. And Chris had asked for evidence of beneficiary signature. So we're best off signing everything as beneficiary, right? Using our beneficiary signature.
Well, that's what Chris recommends, to sign everything as beneficiary, I guess, especially pertaining to a trust action.
Okay. And when we sign beneficiary, that creates the trust action, and then therefore we can seek remedy.
It's not signing as a beneficiary that created trust action. I'm saying signing as a beneficiary when it pertains to a trust action.
When it pertains. Got it.
If you're sending a letter to your friend and you're signing as a beneficiary, it has no bearing. Right? If it's your friend and your buddy and you're just trying to say, hey buddy, I haven't heard from you in a long time. I mean, does it make sense to sign beneficiary? I mean, you can if you want to, but
that's right.
It's not a trust action, right?
Yes. Yes, sorry, I misspoke. Thank you for the reminder.
We're dealing with something that has the trust, dealing with some kind of trust action, you know, for instance, something that uses your social security or whatnot, then at that point, that's a different story.
Okay. Okay, and every conditional acceptance letter that's sent should be notarized. Is it a good way to go?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Okay, I think those are my two questions. Thank you. Appreciate you as always.
All right, thank you. All right, so I think I don't see anybody after the queue. It sounds like everybody's questions were answered, I guess. So let me see. All right, so if there's no more questions, I guess we're going to wrap up the call for today. So I thank you all for coming tonight. Like I said, please keep Chris Hauser in your prayers, and as he's so he can finish what he's working on quickly and come back to us and share with us what he's been doing, so we can continue to advance this movement. I do encourage each one of us here to continue studying, please. It's very important. Study, read multiple times, and try to understand what you're doing and why you're doing what you're doing. It's critical, right? But again, we'll continue and keep supporting us the best you can with prayers as well, and hopefully we can continue to, get you guys some much needed and much effective remedies. So with that being said, let's close with in prayer. So Heavenly Father, we thank you for the presence in this discussion. We thank you for the inspiration. as we surrender into your holy hands the rest of the week and the week when that begins. We ask that you please, that your Holy Spirit remains with us and continue to guide us every step of the way until we achieve our remedy. In Jesus' mighty name we have prayed. Amen. And Father, the Spirit, Spirit, Sanctity. Amen.
Q&A session is over.
All right, folks, thank you for coming tonight, and you guys have a blessed night. Sometime during the week, we're going to send the announcement about our private study session that will likely be the coming Friday, but the announcement will confirm. And any of you who wants to learn how to discharge court rooms with consumer laws, you did know that's going to be our third session on that topic. We also have recordings for our previous sessions where we discuss how to enforce the coupons using consumer laws as well, so that you can achieve your remedy sooner, right? So, with that being said, may we all have a blessed night, everybody, and see you next time. And please keep in touch on Telegram for announcements. All right, good night.
Have an incredible evening.
Good night.
Thank you.
All right, take it easy. Thanks.
Thank you. Good night.